Hi people, it's Sarkovist here, coming at you with a review for Spore. Prior to the game's release, Spore had a torrential amount of hype behind it, and with good reason. Spore is uniquely ambitious, in that it gives the player enormous creative freedom while still maintaining a coherent, well put together experience. Rather than focusing on one genre, Spore manages to incorporate aspects of many different gameplay styles and seamlessly blends them into an evolutionary adventure. Although Spore doesn't have what you might call a traditional narrative, this makes your journey no less compelling. You begin as a tiny organism swimming around in a pool of other tiny organisms. To survive, you must eat and evolve. Your diet will consist of either plants or meat, depending on whether you are a carnivore or a herbivore. The beauty of this stage is how creatures that were once far too large for you to take on suddenly become an easy snack as you move up the food chain. As you eat and grow, you will find body parts that will help you to survive the harsh environment, such as spikes. It's a very simple stage and doesn't last very long, but it helps give the game a greater sense of scale later on. During your next evolutionary step, you find yourself on land, and your creature will encounter even more threats. You can progress through the creature stage either by impressing the other creatures or by attacking and eating them. The creature stage feels a lot like an RPG in terms of gameplay mechanics. Yet again, you unlock new body parts that can be attached to new generations of your species. One of the most impressive aspects about this stage is how much you can alter the look of your creature. The creative tools given to you allow for countless combinations of attachments and body shapes. You can spend an enormous amount of time modifying your creature, getting the colour scheme, arm size and various other aspects exactly how you want them. Once your creature's brain has grown sufficiently large, you will move up to the tribal stage. This part of the game plays out like an RTS. You are given a small camp and a group of your species to command. To complete this stage, you must either make alliances with the other tribes or destroy them. You have a few tactical options. You can equip your tribe with various items such as axes to make them more efficient fighters. Also, you must collect food, which is your main resource. Following the tribal stage is the civilization stage, which yet again plays out like an RTS, but this time on a global scale. Now that you have cities, you can create buildings as well as land vehicles, boats and planes with which to conquer the planet. Yet again, you can complete the stage through diplomacy or warfare, and yet again I chose the violent option. As well as commanding your forces, you must also plan out your cities. It's important to get the right balance between your people's happiness and the income you make. After you have united or conquered the planet, you move on to the final stage. This is where the game opens up immensely. Whereas the previous stages can be completed in under an hour, the space stage is so big that you will likely never complete it. Using your spaceship, you can explore the galaxy, finding other civilizations, terraforming planets, and conquering solar systems. The sheer scale is truly incredible. You can zoom out to see the entire galaxy, and then zoom right down to a planet's surface. It is by far the most complex mode, and probably where you will spend the majority of your time if you focus on one species. One of the interesting features in Spore is that some of the species you encounter have been made by other players. It's great when you find yourself interacting with another player's creation, but most of the time I seem to be finding Max's creations. Graphically speaking, the game is certainly showing its age. The colourful visuals prevent the game from looking terrible, but I found myself wishing that some of the textures were just a bit sharper. Despite the dated graphics though, the game is still definitely worth playing today for all the variety it offers. Hardcore gamers may find the different stages a little simple, but it makes sense that they aren't too complex considering you don't spend very long playing them, with the exception of the space stage. What makes Spore so wonderful even today is how it manages to incorporate so many different gameplay styles without falling apart. It all comes together beautifully and makes for a truly stellar experience.